Hi, welcome to video number 5 for the WPP class. If you are in 22A or 821, you're on the Monday, Wednesday schedule. It's March 23rd, unless you're working ahead, which is fine. So due today, by midnight, is your short essay number 2, your Kairos reflection. And what we're going to be learning about today is the pre-writing for the timed essay. And that pre-writing is going to be due on Wednesday, the 25th. And if you're in 22I, today is the 24th, Tuesday. Same thing, short essay due today by midnight, and your pre-writing will be due Thursday by midnight. All right, so hopefully you're all oriented on your schedule. So let's hop on over to the modules and start talking about the timed writing. So we're into the last section of this class. And when you click on timed writing in Canvas, it gives you a little bit of an overview. So just to go over that real quickly, you don't have to take the writing proficiency exam once you complete this class successfully. I know I've said that before, but I just want to reiterate that. This takes the place of that exam. And since it does, in this class, we had to simulate the timed writing experience of the writing proficiency exam. So that's why we have to give you a 2-hour timed writing. However, it's a lot different from the exam because, for one thing, you can use your outline and your pre-writing while you are writing your timed writing. So it makes it a lot less stressful. The other thing is, once you're finished and I've verified that I've watched you write it, so it's proctored, you actually can just take it and revise it at that point before you submit your portfolio. So even though it's a timed writing, you still get the opportunity to revise it. So hopefully those two pieces of information make you happy. So your completed essay, your timed writing, should be 6 or more well-developed paragraphs, about 700 words in length. So this is double-spaced. Most students produce an introduction, maybe 4 or 5 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. So in this essay, you're using material from your primary article and then any other personal observations or experiences that you can in order to answer the prompt. So it's a balance of information from the article and information from your own personal experience. You will be citing the article using direct quotes, paraphrases, and the correct in-text citations. You'll have a works cited or a bibliography at the end, but it may only contain one thing, and that's your original article. It may just be a citation for that. Now, can you use information from your other 4 sources that you rounded up for your annotated bibliography? You absolutely can. You don't have to, though. If you want to, you can answer the prompt for this essay with just information from your original article and from your own personal experiences. So it's really up to you. So I already mentioned that you'll have 2 hours of writing time to complete the essay. If you are a student with a testing accommodations through Disability Services, you'll have 3 hours. Just let me know so I can plan and prepare for that if you have that accommodation. Okay, so that's a little bit of an overview of the timed writing. Let's take a look at the prompts. What you're going to be doing is responding to a prompt, and you're answering a prompt in your timed writing. So if you click on prompts in Canvas, find your article. Let's say you did the how one stupid tweet blew up Justine Sacco's life. Let's say you do that one. Ooh, I put too many C's in there. Sorry. You'll see under here that there are 2 prompts to choose from. So here's the first one right here. And then the second one is underneath it. So the way these prompts work is the very first part, they give you a little bit of context from the article. They'll include a direct quote just to kind of give you an idea of what they're going to be asking about. And then the actual prompt itself, the question that you will be answering in your timed writing essay, is in bold here. Okay. And then every prompt tells you what kind of evidence to use, and it says the exact same thing for every prompt. Use the following types of evidence: specific material from the article and your own knowledge and or experience. Don't just use one or the other. Both of those things have to be in there, okay? So what I would suggest is, find your article and read through these prompts, and hopefully one of these prompts you'll have a bigger gut reaction to. Like you'll say, oh yeah, I would say definitely yes, or I would say definitely no. Decide which one of those prompts you feel the strongest about, because you will want to answer this essay with a yes or a no. And then what you do throughout the essay is explain why you feel the way you do, using information from the article and information from your own personal experiences. Okay. So the first step is to decide which prompt you want to use. You're not answering both of them. Don't try to answer a little bit of this one and a little bit of that one. That is the quickest way to fail the essay. You have to pick one or the other and answer that specific prompt. Okay. So for example, just for this article, this first prompt says, should social media providers such as Twitter be expected to exert greater control over content that is proven to be destructive for individual users? That is a very specific question about how much responsibility social media providers have over the content on their sites, right? So it's kind of a free speech issue, okay? The other prompt is much more broad. So, is the strength of modern civil society being undermined by the negative behaviors that social media facilitates? So that's a way broader question, which could be good or bad. It just depends, what kind of evidence you can think of for this. So you'll definitely want to think about whether you would rather answer kind of a more specific question or a bigger, broader type of question. All right, so once you've decided which prompt you'd like to answer, let's go back to the modules. And look at the pre-writing. This is really going to help you figure out content. So you are welcome to download this timed essay pre-writing document and type directly into it if you want to. That's probably the easiest thing to do. On your pre-writing, tell me which prompt you're responding to and whether you're answering yes or no. And then what I would like you to do is fill out this chart. What you need to do is think of 2 or 3 main points of why you feel the way you do, why you are answering the prompt yes or why you're answering the prompt no. Okay? And for each of these main points, write your first main point here in this square, and then in this square give specific examples from the article that supports your point. So you can include some direct quotes, some paraphrases, some general summaries of parts of the article, whatever you can find to support your first main point. And then for your first main point, also over here, brainstorm some examples from your own personal experience or observations that support your point. So what does that mean? This could be things you've learned about in class, in life, things you've experienced personally or observed others experiencing. So it's not coming from the article, it's coming from your lived experience. Okay. Do the same thing for your second main point. And if you have one, for your third main point. Students will often ask me, do I need 3 main points? Not necessarily. Because if you think about it, if you have 4 body paragraphs, it might take you 2 paragraphs per main point, right? So maybe for your first main point, you're going to present some evidence from the article. And then in the second body paragraph, for that first main point, you're going to present some evidence from your own personal experiences. And then you can do the same thing for your second main point. You can use body paragraph number 3 and 4 for your second main point. So you don't have to have 3 main points. If you have 2 well-developed main points, I think that's sufficient. So that's it. That's all that's due next time is for you to fill out this pre-writing. I will tell you, while I don't say, oh, you have to have this many words or whatever, The more detail you can get into this pre-writing, the easier your outline will be and the easier your essay will be to write. So please don't skimp. Try to get as much evidence in there as you can possibly brainstorm. You will definitely thank me later for that. Okay. So, you know me, I always like to go back to the schedule here. This pre-writing will be due either on Wednesday the 25th or Thursday the 26th. And then next time, you are going to be watching video number 6, and you'll learn all about how to create the outline for the timed essay. All right, thanks so much. And as always,